Hi guys, Jamie from Boxing Life, and welcome back to another boxing list video. In today's video, I'll be looking at 10 boxers who could potentially take over the welterweight division. Looking at the top of the welterweight division right now, it's starting to look like an aging weight division in my opinion, with many of the top welterweights now in their mid-30s or looking to move up in weight. You've got the likes of Manny Pacquiao now in his 40s, Crawford talking about moving up in weight or even retiring, and even Spence as well talking about eventually moving up to super welterweight. I've based off this list of current activity, achievements, and their talent from when I published this list. Some of the fighters are yet to fight at welterweight, but I wouldn't be surprised if many of them end up in the welterweight division at some point. On that note, let's get right into it. Number 1, Josh Taylor. Taylor has had one of the quickest rises in boxing since turning pro. Having competed in the super lightweight division to date, in just 18 bouts he managed to clear out a whole division, becoming the first 4-belt undisputed champion from the UK, along with winning the World Boxing Super Series in 2019. With him pretty much beating all the names in that division at the moment, I believe we will see Taylor move up in weight very soon. Already there has been suggestions of facing the likes of Terence Crawford, who was also undisputed at super lightweight. If he was to win this could definitely set up Taylor as the man to beat at welterweight. Number 2, Daniyar Yeleussinov. Yeleussinov is probably one of the names on this list you won't be familiar with, but the Kazakh professional boxer had a tremendous amateur career, competing at the 2012 and 2016 Olympics and winning gold in the 2016 Olympics at Rio. As an amateur, he has defeated top pros including the likes of Josh Taylor, Josh Kelly, Jamal Herring, and Sissoko. In turned pro in 2018, so far he's only had 10 fights, and in my opinion has not moved along quick enough. His big win so far to date is against former super lightweight world champion Julius Ndongo. Over the next couple of years I'd love to see the opposition step up for Yeleussinov, as he is now in his 30s and really needs to step up if he wants to become a welterweight world champion. Number 3, Jaron Ennis. Ennis has to be one of the most exciting fighters on this list in my opinion. I have no doubt at one point he can challenge and will win world titles in the future. As an amateur, he won silver and gold at the prestigious Golden Gloves competition before turning pro the following year. Ennis's amazing knockouts, punch variation, defensive skills and switch hitting make him one you have to watch for the future. He's also had some impressive victories so far over the likes of Chris Van Heerden from South Africa and Lipinets. The young American has all the potential to dominate in the welterweight division. Make sure to check him out in his next fight. Number 4, Conor Benn. This might be a controversial one on this list, but the son of former 2-weight world champion Nigel Benn still has much potential and time to reach the top of the welterweight division. Turning pro at 19, Ben has quickly had to learn on the job and also learn the hard way through the rigours and toughness of professional boxing. However, his dedication and heart is something the fans are starting to appreciate. Plus, they know they're going to get their money's worth when you watch a Conor Benn fight, who always comes to fight. He might not take over the welterweight division, but I wouldn't be surprised if he competes with the best or potentially wins a world title if the right opportunity arises. Number 5, Vergil Ortiz Jr. Vergil Ortiz has to be one of the most exciting come-forward pressure fighters on this list, and even in world boxing. Training with legendary coach Robert Garcia, who's trained the likes of his brother Mikey Garcia, Nonito Donaire and Marcus Maidana, the young Mexican-American has all the promise to fulfill his potential. With a 100% KO record to date since this video was made, Ortiz has really started to prove his powerful punching and pressure fighting against good opposition. He's defeated the likes of Morris Hooker and Kavaliakis so far. Anyone who fights Ortiz on this list will have a hard time in the welterweight division. Number 6, Regis Prograis. Prograis was once regarded as one of the brightest talents that could dominate the sport due to his power and slick southpaw style, which has caused many problems for anyone that used to come up against him. The former WBC and WBA super lightweight champion lost his title to Josh Taylor back in 2019 for the World Boxing Super Series and Muhammad Ali Trophy. After that disappointment, many have forgotten of Prograis' abilities. There's also been rumours of him struggling to make super lightweight. A move up to welterweight might be a sensible decision for the American and could give him some big fights and potentially a rematch with Josh Taylor. Number 7. Teofimo Lopez. Lopez really came to stardom by defeating Vergil Lomachenko for all 5 lightweight belts, if you also include the WBC franchise belt. Lopez won this fight in convincing unanimous decision, making him the youngest 4-belt champion at just 23 years old. However, like some others on this list, Lopez is said to struggle to make lightweight. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries his hand at super lightweight eventually. He's certainly big enough, with even Tyson Fury claiming how big he is for the weight.
Got my size body. He's the biggest little man I've ever seen. He's the biggest featherweight on the planet, barring nobody. And I got to back him what he says. Ain't no 126, 135 pounder can beat him. No Lomachenko's nobody, because he's a heavyweight on 2 tiny legs.
It probably won't happen anytime soon, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Lopez up at welterweight over the next 3 to 5 years. Number 8. Ryan Garcia. Another fellow star lightweight on this list is of course Ryan Garcia, who definitely has the potential to fight at welterweight one day. Standing at 5'10", the same as Taylor, Ortiz, Ennis and Yeleussinov in this list, he's definitely big enough to fight at welterweight at one point as he gets older. But I would love to see him move up in weight one day to see if he can handle the bigger guys at welterweight. Training under the guidance of Team Canelo, they will no doubt move him up in weight, similar to what they did with Canelo, who has been so successful in recent years. Number 9. Devin Haney. The Dream Devin Haney is one of the slickest boxers on this list, and with over 26 pro fights at just 22, this kid has all the potential to eventually make it up to welterweight. Having defeated top former world champions such as Linares and Gamboa, he has proven elite skills for such a young age. I do see Haney eventually fighting at welterweight, but when you look at his size difference between him and some of the other talented welterweights on this list, such as Ennis and Ortiz, it could prove difficult. Despite this, he's a real flashy defensive operator, similar to Mayweather, and also has a brilliant jab that will get him far. Number 10. Gervonta Davis. The final boxer on this list is of course Gervonta "Tank" Davis, who is definitely the smallest on this list at only 5'5.5". Struggle to see how the current super lightweight can make it all the way up to welterweight, and I do believe that weight will be his ceiling. However, time and time again after moving up in weight, he's proved he's got the natural power to KO anyone. His team have been rumoured to trying to get a fight with former welterweight world champion Keith Thurman, which I would love to see. Nevertheless, I'd personally like to see him fight some of the other top lightweights first before making such a move. And that wraps up this boxing list, guys. Let me know in the comments below who you think will dominate the welterweight division over the next few years. Personally, I think Ortiz Jr, Ennis and even maybe Taylor could fight it out over the next few years. As always guys, thanks so much for all the support recently. It really means a lot. It helps out the channel big time. Make sure to hit that like button, really helps out the channel. And if you're new here, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.